So flying is about to hit the live servers with the patch 7.2 release, and you're probably wondering, okay, what do I need to do and what should I do once the patch has been released? Now, before the patch actually gets released, you can do one thing which is kind of critical, and that is the Broken Isles Pathfinder Part 1. Now, in the Broken Isles Pathfinder Part 1, we have 5 basic requirements. Now, the first is the Broken Isles Explorer, where you literally have to explore every area of the Broken Isles, and that includes all of the 5 zones: Azuna, High Mountain, Suramar, Volshura, and Stormheim. Once you're done with that one, you then have to do the Lawmaster of Legion, which again is to complete all the quest chains for those 5 areas as well. Then it is, you don't want to start that one yet. It's UI. Then is to do the Variety is the Spice of Life achievement, where you need to do 100 different world quests. Then the Broken Isles Diplomat, and that is to become, I think it's either honoured or friendly, revered even, with all of the reputations on the Broken Isles. And finally, a Glorious Campaign, where you need to complete 3 different class order campaigns. Now, to be honest, most people should be at this stage anyway if you've been playing, especially since release. If you haven't, it's definitely worth investing some time into getting those done before 7.2 is actually released. The only thing which would probably cause you a little bit of a bottleneck is doing the Order Hall missions. Now, once you actually have that out of the way, the next thing is to start the Broken Isles Pathfinder Part 2. Now, unfortunately, I landed on the PTR a bit late due to when I first started playing it was a bit buggy, and I left it a little bit of time to settle down. Before then, you could actually get that achievement straight off the bat, so I've actually been doing this manually, so I know exactly what you need to do to actually be able to get flying in the Broken Isles. Now, obviously, first being said was the Broken Isles Pathfinder Part 1. The second, being the easiest of the sort of achievements to do, is explore the Broken Shore, which is simply to just, ungrey all of the Broken Shore, or unmist, or whatever you want to call it. The next is to become the Defender of the Broken Isles. Now, this is a bit of a pain in the ass one, and from my understanding, this will not be an achievement you can do straight away. If I'm correct, it might not even be available for the first week of release. Now, what will happen essentially all throughout of the Broken Isles, when I say all throughout, Stormheim, High Mountain, Volshura, and Azuna will become under assault by the Legion. Now, when that happens, you will notice that there will be a little yellow icon over the center of those areas, and all the world quests will be changed to Legion Assault world quests. Once you have completed 4 of those world quests, you will be then given when you actually enter those areas, you'll be given a quest, which that quest is to complete 4 of the world quests for that area. Once you've completed those 4 world quests, you will start a little mini quest chain. These quest chains basically require you to do a scenario and some other bits and pieces. Once you've completed that, you will then have the sort of Defender ability for that region completed, if that makes any sense. Now, like I said, you have to do this for all 4 regions. There is no known, and don't quote me on this one because probably someone has already figured it out, set order in which the areas are assaulted, and also the timings between the assaults. So this is kind of a tricky one, because if I'm correct on the PTR anyway, the assaults only seem to last 2 hours. So for instance, if you're not available and the assault that you need is up, that is a bit of a kick in the teeth. Now, I can imagine they'll probably start ramping it up and making it more clear when these things actually happen, but obviously that is a big factor in actually being able to get the Broken Isles Pathfinder Part 2. Now, as you can see on the PTR, I actually have managed 3 out of the 4. I've probably seen 2 Stormheim and 2 Azuna assaults. I've never yet seen a Volshura assault, so that's something that is kind of interesting, really, because I've been doing this for a good few days now. So I don't know if the timings that I've seen and the sort of like intervals and patterns of the assaults are going to be relative to the live servers. And the final thing that we're going to require is the Legion Fall Commander, which is to earn revered status with the armies of Legion Fall. Now, I thought this was a lot easier than sort of met the eye, because when I started doing it, I kind of forgot the pattern of what you require to actually become revered. I thought it pretty much went friendly, revered, and I kind of completely forgot about honoured. Now, unfortunately, this seems to be really slow, and I mean really slow. But at the moment, the world quests on the Broken Shore, which you can see, I've literally, every time a quest pops up, I'm on it. I'm literally on it like a rash. And they only yield 75 reputation, which is a pain. The rare mobs that can spawn on the Broken Shore as well don't seem to give anything. And I'm struggling to see any other ways of sort of rep grinding the Broken Shore. So I feel like that's going to be a really drawn out process, because I'm only seeing probably something like maybe 5 to 10 world quests a day at the Broken Shore. So you're talking about 700 at best. This is just guessing. This is not actual statistics, but you know, you're talking potentially 750 reputation a day. You know, you've got 12,000 to get through. So some terrible maths there. 10 days would be 7,500. Half that again. You know, you're talking approximately 2 weeks, give or take, to get your reputation up to honoured, and sorry, get your reputation from honoured to revered, and that's not even including getting from friendly to honoured. So in reality, you're talking 15 to 20 days to actually just get that done alone. So this is going to be a little bit of a drawn out process. If you're going into the mindset of like, oh, the second patch 7.2 comes out, I'm getting flying, yeah, hold your horses, because you won't get it straight away, trust me. Now, I forgot to check whether the assaults actually give you reputation or not. I can imagine they do. So the second you see an assault, even though you've already done it, go and do it again. It's repeatable. All the world quests are repeatable. The quest chain is a blue quest chain, so all the NPCs give you a blue icon, so it's all repeatable stuff. So just go and do that as many times as you can, because I can imagine that will give you reputation, and you will need that reputation. So ignore the fact that you've already done it as part of the achievement, just go and do it and get that reputation. And with that being said, that is pretty much in a nutshell how you obtain your flying in 7.2. Like I said, I've been doing this the manual way. Unfortunately, like I said, I came in a bit slow on the release, and I've been struggling to get the reputation for the Legion Fall Commander in any sufficient time scale. But with that being said, that is 7.2 in and flying in a nutshell. I did hope you find this guide somewhat useful and somewhat informative, and I'll catch you next time.